and gentlemen, I am really excited to have some great political activists who I didn't even know over the last year have been shooting videos on their iPhones, but that works pretty darn good, actually. So we've got some video cameras that we actually still use occasionally, but we always try to move up to the even higher res. One is an HD Sony hard drive. Another that I've had for years. I've done a lot of work with this little baby myself. I've had this 5-6 years. This has seen a lot, including Bilderberg Group. 2006, we're giving you both these with the firewires and the equipment. Two little terrorists in the info war to go out there and show the evil that's going on, but also show the folks that you're waking up and the politicians like Twinkle Toes Perry, the former chief of staff in Texas for Al Gore. God bless him. So you guys are just doing a wonderful job. Please continue. So you're down there in San Antonio, Military City, USA. Even when the newspaper tries to come photograph the giant NSA base, the police come and tell them to turn off their cameras in America.
We've had that happen to us, too. Our group, we are down there at NSA trying to get some video footage, and they're coming out. Well, I know it's happened to you. It hasn't happened to me.
That was a story I didn't really tell anybody because they actually did intimidate me to delete my footage, and I was kind of, I mean, the group of guys were like, man...
yeah, well, if they're off their jurisdiction at the Home Depot, you know, a quarter-mile away, next they're going to be in your house.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that's why I want to encourage all activists, definitely know your rights. I mean, of course...
I mean, we know what you're doing in there. You're running all our communications illegally through your computers. We know you're crooks. We know you staged 9/11.
Oh, yeah, I mean, right...
And we know you know, terrorist.
Yeah, and we try to drop info bombs on them. I gave them DVDs. These are NSA police, and as soon as we got out of the street, we're going to hang posters for one of the videos across the street from the NSA. Right away, they came, pulled up, got out. They had police suits, and right away they wanted to get our info. But basically, I gave him the DVDs. He got them, walked to a car, put them in a plastic bag, sealed it, and then put the plastic bag with the DVDs in the car. Yeah. But, you know, that was about...
Yeah, well, don't worry. They're Sybil Edmonds heard them commanding Al-Qaeda, so... I mean, you know, of course they don't want you filming them. They carried out 9/11. I mean, these are terrorists.
And, you know, Wayne Madsen exposed the Q unit and the NSA covering up 9/11. They are covering it up, and they're definitely got a big presence in San Antonio, as well as a lot of military bases. And these are the people that we're trying to wake up when we do street actions in front of the Alamo, just all around San Antonio, putting up posters. We're going to do that this Saturday. We're going to go put up Ron Paul 2012 posters everywhere. Yeah, and we're going to make a video with these little babies right here.
Yeah.
These little exclusive limited edition Alex Jones Bilderberg camcorder. What? Exclusive. Right
that's a baby Al-Qaeda right there.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely going to be on the streets this month. Three street actions we got this month.
Hopefully more. We're going to stop. That's one thing. We're not going to stop this. I mean, they can try to, you know, make us feel all down like we can't make a change. We know we can. Because we've seen, I mean, how many more people are tuning into your show every day? How many more people are, you know, liking our page on Facebook that we have that are like, yo.
Yeah, tell us about your terrorist websites.
Well, we have truthexposedradio.com is our radio website. We actually just put up a new website, which is newworldactivist.com. That's a new site we're working on. It's going to be like an alternative media website. What we're really trying to do is pull the whole community of everyone that gets active.
All the subcultures.
You know, from Chile, the guys down there in Chile.
By the way, it's Rachael-France, not French. Yeah. They brought her along. I just met her and thought I'd drag her in here. What do you think of all this?
Basically, yeah, we just try to do what we can to, you know, get the information out there. It's a lot of fun. And we have a great team, and everybody is like a family, like he said. So, yeah, we're definitely trying to plan more.
Well, it's exciting to get out and talk to people. You know, take San Antonio. More and more they try to have Air Force police and others out policing citizens in the middle of San Antonio. And I know some folks down in San Antonio have exposed that as well. I mean, we've got to get in their face or they're going to get in our face. And then I mean, here's CPS is to start taking people's fat children. Next, it'll be if your children are 1 pound overweight. They're trying that in Arkansas. These people aren't going to stop. We've got to teach government they work for us.
Yeah, because if you don't, they're going to keep pushing it. And I know you saw the news article with the video cameras in the kitchens of the cafeterias of schools and elementaries.
Yeah, the Pentagon runs that. Well, what's wrong with the Pentagon watching children?
Yeah, so
are you against America? Are you against the troops? Are you against the troops being used as guinea pigs with experimental shots? Are you against the troops drinking bisphenol A? Look, troops, police, you're all being murdered by the globalists as well. Time to grow up and realize our country's been hijacked by a scientific dictatorship. Okay, grow up. Look at Fast and Furious, your terrorist masters shipping guns down there that have killed 3 Border Patrol agents. Are we Al-Qaeda because we don't want to give guns to the cartels? I guess we are.
Yeah, well, that's all it's all about. I mean, everyone operates in this mainstream illusion. The whole system, I mean...
America's good. America doesn't exist anymore. And only by admitting that will we get it back.
Well, that's what we say. I mean, you know, you look at the mainstream illusion, and you have, you know, your big talk show hosts like Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity. You got, you know, Ed Schultz. All these guys, they talk about, and they stay within the mainstream illusion. They talk about the 9% unemployment. We know the real unemployment.
No, they're tossing a football back and forth. It's all... They prop each other up.
It's a little illusion. It's a little game that they put up. It's like, you know, just creating this little fairy tale world, and for some reason, you see the most mainstream media organizations, they operate within it. And
meanwhile, the real folks running it are a bunch of murdering terrorists spiking your water with carcinogens and radioactive isotopes. It'll be the middle-aged folks, the old people. It's going to be human beings that stand up and face the facts. And the journey of 1,000 miles does start with a single step. Go over when you're having a barbecue with your neighbors, and they're wanting to tell you about LeBron James or whatever, you know, diversions going on, and say, yeah, that LeBron James, that's real interesting. What about dollar devaluation? What about all these new wars? What about the fact that the president's grabbing dictatorial power? What are we going to do about it? Or are we just people that sit here and watch television and live in this controlled paradigm? And going back to Cody Hess, Cody, you got cut off by the break. We were talking about this false reality and how people are literally in this trance, actually, technically, physically. I mean, that's admitted from watching television and the culture. And if we went to break, you got cut off.
Well, yeah, it's just social engineering, basically. I mean, it's this false reality that for some reason, I mean, you have the majority of the public still living in. I mean, when they say there's 9.2% unemployment, we all go, not us, obviously, but everyone goes, oh, yeah, 9.2 unemployment. We already know it's way above that. And we already know that this whole thing in Libya is a war, yet so many people operate within the mainstream illusion saying, yeah, it's not a war. It's just a kinetic military action. It's just a love. There's love bombs being dropped, you know, like you say. I mean, but everyone operates within it. It's ridiculous. And we're always trying to expose the mainstream illusion because, I mean, the longer that the mainstream is guiding the world, we will be stuck in this. But the alternative media is on the rise. And we are seeing, like, we have stuff right here, internet gains on television as public's main news source. We're always talking about it on our show because we're saying social networking is the way to spread news in the future. And that's why they're trying to go to make it illegal to embed YouTube clips. I mean, how many people watch cool little, you know... Well,
YouTube sets it up for you to do that. People want you to. You can set your channel where you can't embed if you don't want.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna try to do whatever they can to stop this knowledge from flowing out. But they're not gonna stop.
Yeah, because right now, like, we have this headline: 43% of news sharing online is via social media, and that's how people listening can take action, just sharing information. Right here in the same article, it says the study found that 27% of frequent sharers, defined as those sharing at least 6 stories each week, were responsible for 87% of all news shared online.
Keep sharing, keep spreading the Infowars.com links. We're kicking by the way, our Facebook that gets about 300,000 visitors a day, that was just a fan Facebook they gave us, was shut down yesterday, and we for no reason. Let me see if our Facebook's still up again.
Well, the great activists on Facebook that are
It's back. But listen, Google's been doing all sorts of squirrely stuff.
Oh, yeah, they're rolling out their social network, and they want control of this. I mean, they're definitely got their fingers up in everything, but positivity, definitely. Operation Info Jam the System is a movement going on Facebook where people are just jamming the White House Facebook page, celebrity Facebook pages to mainstream shows that get high millions of viewers. They're going to their Facebook pages and dropping Police State 4 and Invisible Empire and Endgame, and they're dropping them in comments, and they're just taking over Facebook and just sharing all this information.
Well, let me just say this.
Info Jam the mainstream.
That's awesome. By the way, we did a Google bomb a few days ago, and lately they've been failing unless I give a really archaic, and I forgot to do it today, so we'll do it later in the week. But that was... The point is they admittedly changed their algorithm to try to block us, and now they've got big indexes of popular terms. Can't criticize Google, can't criticize Obama. They admit they're changing their algorithm to block alternative news sites because they're desperate. It shows we're having an effect, or they wouldn't be trying to block us.
Yeah, you're finding holes within the mainstream illusion, within the system. We're finding holes, and then every time we find them, they try to cover it up really quick. Then we move to the next hole, and they can only do that for so long. There's going to be a point where we're way ahead of them. We are gaining the numbers. That's what's awesome. I mean, I look around. We are gaining the numbers. I mean, more and more people are tuning into your show, Alex. I mean, more people. I mean, even at my work, like I wouldn't even really talk about this stuff. People walked up to me and see my bumper stickers in my car. You know, 9/11 was an inside job. They're like, oh, you listen to Alex Jones? I'm like, yeah. And and people all over the place that are just really starting to really get out there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm an electrician by day, not as eloquent as Clark Kent's Daily Planet reporter by day, but you know, but I talked to a lot of people on the job sites, and it's like I was talking to some guys about the other day, and he's like, oh yeah, somebody else gave me some Alex Jones DVDs, and I was like, well, here, I got some for you in my tool bag. Boom, InfoWar DVDs with the 7 movies on it that are.
No, the power of people, and of course we've been doing that internet being what it is today, the power of access television, the power of using whatever medium you can. People are desperate for the truth. They're desperate for alternative information, and that's why we have Senator Jay Rockefeller and others calling to end the free internet as we know it. Former head of the NSA, Hayden, is calling to, quote, end the internet as we know it and force us onto this new controlled internet. But the genie's already out of the bottle, and we're going to continue, even if they did that, with the person-to-person DVDs, you know, the person-to-person information. If they shut down all that, we'll have local newspapers, just like the Founding Fathers did.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I dare them to shut down the internet. I mean, that'll just get everybody out there on the streets, and they definitely don't want that because that human-to-human interaction is way stronger than even the internet.
Well, again, when I tell this story, I'm not bragging. In fact, it's the opposite because I don't like listening to my show. I don't really like a lot of my delivery. You know, sometimes I hear part of my show go, that was really good, that was gold. But a lot of times, I do this a lot. I tend to do even better interviews when I'm on somebody else's show or when I'm at home with an iPhone because I'm in here for years. You know, in a way, it almost psychologically becomes stale and oppressive. I don't like doing this. I have dreams about not doing this. I have dreams where I'm a forester or a doctor or an auto mechanic. And in the dream, I wake up and I'm not Alex Jones and I'm so happy. It's the opposite because of the great responsibility. But if I told people the type of phone calls I get, the famous people that call me, I mean, the biggest people there are. But in 99% of the cases, they don't want to come on the show. You know, in some cases they say, well, you can talk about me if you want and say that I support what you're doing, but then I don't even do that. If they're not 100% in on it. Yeah. But it's getting exponential. And I use that as a radar ping that all these famous people are calling me, showing that this isn't something that's trendy. It's an awakening. It's permanent. It's not like zoot suits are in, you know, in the 1950s or whatever. This is about reality and a renaissance of awakening. And again, I'm known. My ugly fat bulldog mug is known, and so I have something that other people who are activists don't. I actually get a chance to see how many people are awake, and it is incredible exponentially how many people come over to me, how many people shake my hand, no matter where I am in the world. I mean, our numbers are much higher than the average person thinks.
I definitely agree with that because, I mean, you see it all around us from art to music, culture. I mean, everything's leaning towards exposing this information. I mean, like the Illuminati influence in the mainstream industry, in the music industry. Everybody knows about that now. Even Sundance had to make a VH1 style TV show, and Mark Dice was on there about secret societies. And
oh, it's everywhere. Like the new Rush songs are about the New World Order and corruption. I hear all these new rock and roll country songs. It's all about the corrupt, you know, fat cats, and we got to wake up. And Muse, who were listeners of the show, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and we're helping it grow. I mean, we're sparking the fire and highlighting
info jamming the mainstream,
taking action, making music, making art, and that's what we're trying to do we're trying to create a website. We do have the website newworldactivist.com, highlighting artists, musicians, and activists, and just get that going. Just that subculture, the next generation, people using all means to get the information out, because it is a new world. Everything's changing, and we're doing something.
And that's why the globalists, and they admit this in books they've written, try to hijack countercultures or try to create false countercultures, because in 20-year cycles, it always becomes the culture. Well, this is a total awakening, true liberty, outside the box, outside the left-right paradigm system, and we are the future, and that's why the system's trying to come in with tyranny right now, because they know their time is short.
Yeah, we're trying to jump ahead of the game and highlight that new wave of people using the different means to get the info out, the info culture, whether it's art, music, whatever. We're trying to highlight that. newworldactivist.com, Truth Exposed Radio, and it's going on. I mean, lots of people are waking up, young kids and everybody into everything, and they're doing different things. Like We Are Change Atlanta made a video where they're using street art to paint a picture. I've done it in one of our We Are Change San Antonio videos. I mean, people are doing that. There's so many different ways we can get the ideas across.
Absolutely.